You going to sit with me for the movies? Can you, please? See, Moosey's doing a good job. Look, he's doing a good job right there. Now you got to look at the camera. Everyone panics about poinsettias at Christmas. Yes, baby. The problem is everyone is panicking about the wrong plant. The real danger for your pets is more than likely sitting on your footpath right now. Okay, let's talk about cats. So cat owners, there is one Christmas plant that is literally a no-go, and that is, no, it's not those, it is lilies. People always suggest, look, just keep them out of reach, put them up high somewhere. But if you've ever lived with a cat, I'm sure you have, I'm speaking to cat lovers right now, you know that's not how a cat works, right? And the pollen alone in lilies, thank you, Maggies. The thing is, the pollen alone with lilies can cause kidney failure, thank you, Maggies. And if they brush up against a lily and then groom later, then you're suddenly at the emergency vet, which is what we definitely don't want. Even the water from the vase that lilies are in is risky. So if someone gives lilies, yes, hello. So if someone gives you lilies, just say thanks and rehome them to a cat-free space straight away. Your office, a neighborhood, a friend without pets, doesn't matter. Sometimes when I want to rehome a plant, I'll actually put it out on the street, on the pathway, in a bit of shade. And then I'll put a post on my local Facebook group and I'll just say there's freebie plants on X and X street in my, my local group. And they go very quickly. Everybody loves a freebie. So it's a really nice way to rehome plants to people who actually want them. Okay, let's talk about the one that people are most curious about, and that is the lovely poinsettia. Every Christmas, it is unfortunately the one plant that gets the baddest rap for pets and being poisonous. But honestly, I sometimes think those headlines are just that, headlines, more than anything. I think they can cause the wrong idea. It's not a plant you'll find all the time. It's only available at Christmas. They look dramatic with bright red and they are perhaps a little intimidating to look after. They're not very well known and they're not the easiest plant to look after. But the truth is, poinsettias are mostly just unpleasant for cats. If a cat investigates a poinsettia, and yes, cats investigate everything, that's what they do, then most will just take one lick, they'll realise it tastes terrible, they will pull the most offended face possible, kind of thing, you know what I mean, and they will never try it again. Honestly, cats are clever. They learn quickly and it only takes one moment for them to remember not to do it again. So at worst, you might see a little bit of drooling or mild irritation from that sap, that little bit of white that comes out of the leaves, but usually that's about it. And honestly, from what I've researched, cats just don't eat enough like poinsettia plant to need a vet. The rush to the vet scenario is very, very rare from what I've read, and it's usually tied to a bigger ingestion. They have to eat quite a lot of the plant, or maybe your cat has tummy problems or ongoing symptoms. But again, if you are ever unsure, don't listen to social media, don't muck around, and call your vet to get the most educated advice on your specific fur baby. So while everyone's worrying about the wrong plant, lilies are still the big danger, as they're the ones that can cause serious kidney damage for your kitties. I think poinsettias are unfortunately the plant's biggest Christmas myth. Oh, and one extra note, speaking of Christmas plants, if you're using real holly in your homes and you've got the red berries on there, holly berries can cause vomiting if your cat eats too many. So keep them out of reach as well if your cat's the exploring type. If you've got it really, really high where the cat can't reach on the ceiling, probably better. Or just remove the berries and keep the leaves, nice and simple. Come on, you guys are the stars. You guys are the stars and you're not even in my videos. You're just gonna sit there, okay. Okay, let's talk about dogs. I am a dog person for sure. And as we know, dogs are completely different to cats, right? They don't climb up really high and they don't hunt on shelves like cats do, unless you've left a roast chicken out on your counter. Sorry, but that's just gone. But usually dogs are ground level opportunists and they live for smells and anything that happens to land on the floor, trust me. In fact, did you know that dogs actually discover the world in a very different way to what we're used to? So for them, it is nose first. They smell everything first. It's then ears second and eyes third. They don't really care about what things look like. They first and foremost see the world and explore new things by scent. For humans, for us, it's completely the opposite in a way, right? For us, it's eyes first and then ears second, and our nose barely even registers at number 3. Scent doesn't really come into it very, very often. So that's why they completely miss stuff that we see all the time, and they get obsessed with stuff that we basically ignore because they see the world and they smell the world very differently. Honestly, my labs are the perfect example of this. They walk right past every single one of my 300 plants because they just don't smell like anything. Monsteras, snake plants, philodendrons, you name it. They act like those plants don't even exist. Nope. Honestly, they have zero interest. I actually think the plants get more damage from the dogs with all of the tail whacking and the running around than the dogs get from any damage from my plants or any problems from my plants. But anyway, so for dogs, anything smelling at nose level or ground level, they are all over it. Now look, again, I'm not a vet. I am just a plant person or a plant collector who has watched this play out every day with 300 plants and 2 food-obsessed labs. And my dogs are still okay with all of my 300 plants. And that's exactly why Christmas plants can catch people off guard, right? Suddenly everything smells festive and interesting, especially to that nose-first brain. Hollyberries and mistletoe, they smell sweet and strong and beautiful, and dogs will grab them off the floor or wreaths and they can just cause a bit of vomiting and diarrhea. So just keep those hollyberries and mistletoe up as high as possible. Poinsettias, when it comes to dogs. Because of all of the hype, this is the big one that everybody, as I said, they panic about it. In fact, it's probably the whole reason, in fact, it's probably the entire reason why you clicked on this video is because you wanted to know about cats and dogs and poinsettias, right? And I totally get it. You see one nibble on the leaves and you immediately picture a midnight run to the emergency vet. I get it. But honestly, it takes a lot, like eating half the plant pretty much, before it's real trouble for doggies. A few chews usually does mean a mild tummy upset, maybe some drooling, maybe a little bit of number 2s out in the lawn a little bit more, which is not very nice. But you'll definitely get that classic, why did I do that face? Or that wasn't me. I love those faces. From my research and from what I have seen, vet resources call it low risk unless they really go to town on it and eat a lot, like a lot. So poinsettias, they're mostly just hype. But if you're ever unsure, call your local vet or a poison hotline straight away to find out more. But don't go yet. The real Christmas chaos and my 5-minute fix are next, so we've still got a little bit more to chat about. So speaking of dogs and food, there is the actual Christmas food side of Christmas. Christmas cake, mince pies, fruit platters. And they're the things actually that you really need to watch out for with your dogs. And especially the 2 things, grapes and raisins. I mean, they're the same thing, one's just dry, right? But even tiny amounts can hit their kidneys hard, especially if you've got a really small dog. And that's way more dangerous, and they are toxic more than any other plant over Christmas. So don't let them eat grapes or raisins in any form. Now, there is one small watch out to all of this when it comes to dogs and exploration and their noses and Christmas stuff, right? And that is puppies. Puppies take nose first exploration of the world to another level, I'm sure. If you've got a puppy, lucky you, they're adorable. But wow, they discover everything, right? They don't just smell everything, they taste test it too. Plants, soil, wrapping paper, socks, anything that they can reach goes in their mouth. So just assume that anything that is reachable with puppies is snackable, and make sure you're supervising. And remember, look, they're still babies. They are learning everything. They get excited easily and they don't know what they don't know. And just like our babies want to touch everything, puppies want to sniff everything. Dogs explore the world with their noses first. So just keep them safe and just be patient because their world is a little bit different to yours. So think of poinsettias as Christmas's best PR myth. All looks, a little bit of danger, and very overhyped online sometimes. Let me know, are you a dog or a cat household? And what stresses you most during the holidays? Add it in the comments below. Tell me about your fur babies. So with all of the Christmas food, decorations, and new smells, no wonder it stresses pet parents out. You know, you think, what if they're eating something? What if I can't see them eat something? What if it's Christmas Eve and the vet is closed and I can't get to them? All those worries are totally fair. But here's my proof that you don't need to strip out your house of plants. I have 300 plants, I have 2 food-obsessed Labradors, and I've had 0 emergencies. Everything is fine for me because I know what they ignore, I know what their habits are, and I just work around those. So pet safety for me isn't about memorizing lists and all these different plants, it's just understanding your pet's behaviors. So how do you keep things simple? Well, honestly, it just comes down to a quick few habits and a quick few check-ins. So for me, there's 5 things that make Christmas calmer. First thing, just remember cats and lilies are no-goes. It's pretty easy, but if you're a cat owner, that's the worst. Tattoo that into your brain. When it comes to dogs and cats, just do a floor check. Look for berries, anything fallen on the floor, anything sweet. And remember, dogs don't do grapes or raisins. It's pretty bad for them. So do a floor sweep, especially for fruits, and pick them up if you need to. The third thing is just watch for holiday greenery. As I said, hollyberries, mistletoe, and even real Christmas tree needles from pine trees sometimes can cause stomach aches if upset. So just watch out and clean up after them, or cordon off the Christmas tree if you need to. Especially if you've got dogs that run around and get excited like I do, stabilize all your Christmas decorations, tall vases, twigs, amaryllis bulbs, anything that could be tipped over if bumped. Just give them a bit of a move into safer places. And then especially if you've got dogs like mine, keep wrapping and leftovers out of reach. Some dogs think ribbons, tinsel or sticky fruit mince paper sounds delicious too, and they'll eat all of that. So just keep anything that they might eat or that can smell out of reach. Once you've done those 5 things, honestly, your home is basically pretty much Christmas proof for your pets, and you haven't had to give up a single bit of greenery or get rid of any plant. And then you can focus on the fun part, which is decorating. Because let's be honest, December is also plant gift season. How do we not know that? Everyone's handing around cuttings or little succulents or a festive pot wrapped in a ribbon. Everyone gets a poinsettia kind of thing. And that's where a few small choices really make the whole setup a lot easier for you. If you do want to give some plants that you want really, really safe, if you're giving it to a home with cats, try maybe like some cuttings in a nice jar with ribbon, or a lovely little plant with cuttings that they can actually put safe in a cabinet, and it will still look really, really elegant. For dog homes, choose something really sturdy, big, stable base pots that won't tip over if bumped, like Palo Palm and some spider plant cuttings. They look lush and they are very easy to manage. And if you want low stress decor and you've got fur babies around, think of things like real branches. They might eat them, but they'll be fine. Dried oranges, pine cones, fabric garlands. They're beautiful and they are pet safe, because if your pet gets to them, they won't have any problems anyway. So you keep them out of reach, but there's that just in case moment and they're still safe. So when you do decorate with that in mind, everything just feels a little bit calmer, right? You're not stressing out about what might get chewed, and you can actually just enjoy your space and enjoy relaxing-ish for Christmas. And that's the whole point, right? I don't want you to have to choose between plants or pets. It's just a few simple things. Cats just don't do lilies. Dogs, you need to watch the floor. Puppies and kittens need supervision and patience. And the rest is just, well, it's just awareness really. And your home can be beautiful and safe. And once you make it through Christmas without an emergency vet, your next problem will be figuring out where to pull all the plants that people are gifting you, or the plants that you're gifting yourself, obviously, because I don't do that at all. I didn't give that to myself at all. Okay, I did. And again, this is not vet advice. This is just practical tips from one plant lover to another. But always check with your own vet if something feels off. Don't listen to social media. So, final message from me today. I know sometimes it's hard to think about what to comment in YouTube videos, but I also know if you're watching this, then you've got a fur baby and you're probably very, very proud of your fur baby. We are very proud fur baby parents. I know there's a lot of you out there. I am a huge animal lover, so share with me in the comments. I want to know. Tell me about your fur baby. Do you have a cat? Do you have a dog? Do you have 1? Do you have 10? I want to hear all about them. Drop them in the comments. I don't care how long it is. Tell me all about them. I want to hear about your cute little fur baby stories. Anyway, that's it for this video today. Have a week full of leaves, love and laughter. As always, please keep your pets safe this Christmas and enjoy that amazing plant and pet-filled time with your family. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later, guys. Bye. My dogs are gone. Bye guys. See, they don't care about plants. They don't care about video.